College football is back. Welcome into College Football Now by Chat Sports. I am Will Scott. In today's video, we're going to be breaking down some of the top matchups of Week 1, previewing those matchups. I'm also going to dish out my betting picks. And if you're excited for the return of college football, go down, like this video. I want to get 5,000 likes on this video. I want everyone watching right now to hit that thumbs up icon because I think we're all really pumped about the return of college football. Let's talk about this game first because this is one of the bigger games we're going to see this weekend. Oregon taking on Georgia. The Dogs a 17-point favorite. That game at 3:30, I should say, Eastern time in Atlanta. Basically going to be a home game for the defending champs. And Stetson Bennett's going to return as the starting QB. They had a 14-1 record last year. They lose to Bama, get destroyed by Bama, quite frankly, in the SEC championship game. Still get in the playoff, get that rematch with the Crimson Tide. So they come in as the defending champ. Stetson Bennett going to be back as the starting QB. Dan Lanning, one of the big storylines here is he's making his Oregon coaching debut, and he was the Georgia defensive coordinator, so he didn't have to wait too long to take on his former team. Oregon's starting QB has yet to be announced, and that's an interesting situation that's been emerging from the Ducks throughout the offseason. So the competition is between redshirt freshman Ty Thompson and Auburn transfer Bo Nix. And Kirby Smart was asked about that the other day, and he's like, I know who's starting, and we're preparing to take on Bo Nix. I'm not going to bet the spread, though. I think that spread is a little bit aggressive. I think Oregon's a pretty good team, so I'm going to take the under 53. I just don't see a shootout happening between Bo Nix and Stetson Bennett. No disrespect to either of those two guys, but these are pretty good defenses. I'm going to take the under 53. But let me know who you got in this game. Is it Georgia or is it Oregon? Type UGA for Georgia or type ORE for Oregon. Atlanta Falcons quarterback Marcus Mariota said the Ducks are going to come in and give the Dogs a tough time. We'll see what goes down. But I think Georgia will win the football game. Oregon might keep it close for a little while, though. Talking about this matchup as well, also at 3:30 Eastern time, Arkansas is playing host to Cincinnati. The Hogs a 6.5-point favorite. Total is at 52, and this is an Arkansas team that's coming in with pretty high expectations. They had a really good year last year. Their 2021 record, 9-4, as we can put that matchup graphic on the screen. Jaden Hasselhort is expected to fill the Traylon Burks void. An OU transfer, they bring him in, so this is an Arkansas offense that's expected to be just as good, if not better, than last year's team. High expectations for QB KJ Jefferson. He had 27 total touchdowns last year, over 600 rushing yards. He has got to be really solid for Arkansas to have a good year. It really starts with him. Arkansas defense is going to be good too. And when you look at the Cincinnati team, I mean, yeah, they made the playoff last year coming off of that remarkable season, but they lost so much talent. I mean, Desmond Ridder, Sauce Gardner, Kobe Bryant for it as well. So a lot of talent that's not going to be on the field that we saw last year for the Bearcats. Evan Prater expected to be the starting quarterback for them this year. I'm going to take Arkansas minus 6.5, and I'm pretty confident in that pick. I understand that it's a matchup between two top 25 teams, but when you look at Arkansas, I just think they're the far better team. Cincinnati lost a lot of talent. Not to mention, Arkansas is going to be home. I mean, you're going to see that stadium packed. It's a tough place to play. I'm going to take the Hogs. I think the Cincinnati team is good, but not nearly as good as last year. Who do you got? Is it Arkansas or is it Cincinnati? Type ARK or type CIN down in the comment section. Go down. Let me know who you got in this Saturday matchup. 7 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow, we got Utah taking on Florida in Gainesville. One of the more intriguing matchups of Week 1. Utah is a 3-point favorite. Now, when you look at this Utah team, I mean, you got Cameron Rising back at quarterback. He's going to be really solid, I think, this year. I mean, him and Tavion Thomas are one of the best duos in the country. Rising had 20 pass touchdowns last season. Thomas had a school record 21 rushing touchdowns. And even after losing Devin Lloyd and Nafai Sewell, the Utah defense is still going to be really solid. They bring in Diabite, the Florida transfer. And I think this Utah team is a legit college football playoff contender. In fact, I do believe that this Utah team will make the playoff. As for Florida, Billy Napier, he's making his head coaching debut. High expectations for QB Anthony Richardson And when you talk about Richardson, he's been getting some first-round buzz. I think that's a little bit ridiculous, but he's a really solid quarterback and might be one of the better quarterbacks in the SEC this year. But he's not going to be able to go off against Utah's defense. Utah's defense too good. Utah's offense too good. This is a loaded Utah Utes football team. This is my mortal lock of the week. Utah -3. I don't care they're on the road. They're the far better team coming off a Rose Bowl appearance. I'm taking Utah -3. I feel very confident in that bet. And if you feel confident in your bets this week, go to BetUS and use promo code CHAT125 for a 125% deposit bonus. That's the link right there, chatsports.com/bet. That means if you put $100 in, you'll get 125 free cash to bet with. That's an unbelievable deal. So go and bet on all these games, chatsports.com/bet. Probably the biggest game in week 1. I said probably. Definitely the biggest game in week 1. Notre Dame comes in at number 5 against number 2, Ohio State. Marcus Freeman beginning his first full season as the head coach. He took over for Brian Kelly, lost in the Fiesta Bowl last year to the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Tyler Buechner replacing Jack Cohn as the starting quarterback. And then, speaking of quarterbacks, you got the Heisman finalist, C.J. Stroud, back under center for Ohio State. I think he's going to win the Heisman this year, quite frankly. Ryan Day is big game Ryan Day, 13-4 against ranked teams at Ohio State. This game is in Columbus. That is worth noting. When you see a top 5 matchup week 1, it's normally a neutral site. I'm happy to see that's not the case here. This game is going to be in Columbus, going to be packed over there at Ohio State. Going to be a very tough place to play for this Notre Dame team. Believe it or not, I'm taking Ohio State -17. And I know that line is crazy, the fact that there's 2 top 5 teams and one is a 17-point favorite, but Notre Dame might be the most overrated team in the country. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I just don't know how legit this team is, and it feels like every really big game that we've seen from them the past couple of years, they've gotten blown out. I understand Marcus Freeman, new head coach. I think he's going to do a good job there, but Ohio State is going to run away with this game. Make your pick. Are you taking +17 or -17? You betting on the Buckeyes? You betting on the Fighting Irish? Go down in the comments section. Chime in. I'm taking Ohio State -17. Sorry about this next matchup here. LSU against Florida State. This is on Sunday night in New Orleans. LSU is a 3-point favorite. It's funny, Florida State's actually already played a game this year. They won 47-7 over Duquesne last Saturday. The Noles rushed for over 400 yards in that game. And then you saw a pretty good game as well from their quarterback, Jordan Travis. He threw for 208 yards. Trayshawn Ward's a stud, man. He rushed for 127 yards in that game. Brian Kelly making his LSU head coaching debut, and he has yet to announce a starting quarterback. We saw Miles Brennan retire from football because he was not going to be the starting quarterback, and it's either going to be Jaden Daniels, an Arizona State transfer, or Garrett Nussmeier, who is a sophomore, had a pretty good redshirt freshman season as the backup QB behind Max Johnson last year in Baton Rouge. I'm taking LSU -3. Florida State's not a good football team. They're just not. Mike Norvell's not a good head coach. Brian Kelly is doing something over there in Baton Rouge, and I understand that he's a meme. People are going to make fun of him. He's doing his TikTok dances, but he's going to be dancing on Sunday night because LSU is going to steamroll Florida State. This Noles team is not good. They're not going to be good, and I understand that they beat, Duquesne. I'll say that again. Duquesne. We cannot overreact to a 47-7 win over Duquesne. I understand they're 1-0. They look good in that game. LSU is going to beat Florida State badly. #fire Mike Norvell will be trending nationally on Sunday night on Twitter. Who you got? Is it LSU or is it Florida State? Type LSU or type FSU. I'll say the Noles fans are going to show up in New Orleans on Sunday night. They've sold all 30,000 of their tickets, so going to be kind of a home game for LSU because it's, in New Orleans, but still a lot of Florida State fans that are going to be there on Sunday night. Here's some other picks I have. Syracuse +4.5 against Louisville. That game is in the Dome. Not an easy place to play. Garrett Schrader, I think, is going to have a pretty good season as the starting quarterback there, and they have one of the best running backs in the country, Sean Tucker. UTSA is not going to be nearly as good as they were last year. Houston is going to be really legit, maybe even a dark horse playoff contender. Did I just say that? Yes. Kentucky -16 against Miami of Ohio. Like that a lot. Will Levis is my guy. Like, Will Levis is one of the best QBs in the country. He's going to be a Heisman finalist perhaps this year. Coastal Carolina, I love betting on them, taking a -4. Also going to take OU -19 first half against UTEP. I think that spread overall is 31. I don't feel comfortable taking that, but -19 first half should be a pretty safe bet. That's what I'm going with. Go down in the comment section. Tell me what you think about my picks.